Hey everybody, Ultima here, and I've got you a UU Pokemon Showdown battle, so let's get right into it. I send out Darmanitan first, they send out Nidoqueen. I go for the U-turn, send out Porygon2, they set up Stealth Rocks, and no big deal. So I go for Tri-Attack, they switch out to Snorlax, and so I switch out to Hitmontop, which stops Snorlax completely. They set up Curse, I'm not worried, Hitmontop forces them out usually. And so I go for Rapid Spin, predicting the switch. They don't switch. They go for the Body Slam instead, so I'm confused. So I go for Close Combat, expecting to die this turn, but they get greedy and set up a second Curse. I'm confused about that. So anyways, I go for Close Combat, finish the Snorlax off, and that threat is now dead. So in comes Raikou. I'm fearing stuff, but I just go for CC to stop the sub. Now, predicting the attack, I am going to switch out this turn to Porygon2 while they predict that and go for the substitute. And now Raikou goes for the Calm Mind, and so Porygon now has to try and stop it. Not going to work out well, but anyways, have to try. So this portion, it's a stall between Raikou and Porygon2. Raikou keeps setting up subs and Calm Minds, while Porygon keeps breaking those subs. Oh, sorry. But yeah, this part's really stally. But here, they finally go for the Aura Sphere. I break their sub again, and they set it right back up. And so I'm just flailing about right now. The Raikou finishes off Porygon this turn. I send out Darmanitan, go for the U-turn, break the subs, and go out to Hitmontop, because I don't really need it. So Hitmontop goes down to a Thunderbolt. I send back Darmanitan and kill it with a Flare Blitz. So in comes Milotic. I get out of there, send out Roserade, but they go for the Dragon Tail and drag my Milotic out. So then they switch to Zapdos, and I go to Milotic, it's dragging their Milotic out. I go for the Skull, he goes for Dragon Tail, out comes out Mismagius, and I make the stupid play and go for the Will-O-Wisp. He skulls, crits, and it's part of the game. So I go for Thunderbolt to get damage off on it, and it takes me out with the Scald. So now I send out my Roserade to take this thing out. He switches out to Zapdos. I Giga Drain it. And here, Zapdos goes for Substitute, while I just continue to I go for Spikes this turn, thinking he'd kill me. So then he goes for Thunderbolt, confusing me, which means he doesn't have anything to take on Roserade now. So I'm just going to stay in and keep Giga Draining, and yet again, we get into Stall Wars. But he switches out, goes out into Nidoqueen. I go for this Giga Drain too, and it damages it quite a bit. Now I switch out to Milotic, but he roars me back out into my Roserade. So I Giga Drain, he sets up his rocks again, no big deal. I'm going to continue attacking Nidoqueen. He roars me out to Milotic, and Milotic finishes it off with a Scald. Now in comes the Zapdos. I switch out back into Roserade, and he sets up a substitute. This part is, yet again, more stall between breaking the substitute and Thunderbolts. This happens too many times in the battle. But anyways, here he gets the Paralyzation, so doesn't really matter too much. This thing has Aromatherapy. This turn he goes for Substitute, and I get fully paralyzed. Sucks, but no big deal. So I get the Aromatherapy off this turn, and now we're back to basically where we began. Nothing's really happened. Yeah. So here he goes for Thunderbolt again. I break his Substitute. We both realize this is getting us nowhere, so he switches out into his Milotic, but I go for Spikes since I'm all out of PP with Giga Drain. So now Roserade's useless, so I'm just going to continue setting up hazards just to mess around with this Milotic and Weavile later on in the match, as they will both be very helpful. So he goes for the rest, I continue setting up my hazards, he's going for the Sleep Talk, first turn gets Scald, then gets Rest, and here he miscounts his Sleep turns and goes for Sleep Talk again, thus failing. So he switches out into Zapdos, I Dragon Tail, it goes out into Weavile. Weavile takes damage from the Toxic Spikes and Spikes. Here he Night Slashes, does damage to me. I Scald, almost take it out. And next turn the Toxic should take it out. Yeah, so I go for Recover this turn, and the Poison does take him out.